Welcome everyone to round 3 of the season. We're here for tier 1 at the Azerbaijan city circuit, and I don't really know how I want to start the stream because we did get you could say sad news earlier this morning, but I will start that in a little while. I do want to start out though. We're here for the third round of the season, and such days left the session. You might need to reinvite him. Milo, League racing, I just want to start out with this. League racing can be fun, but it also comes with, as of recently, it has come with toxicity, and it has come with, sometimes sadness, and sometimes just, you know what I'm trying to say with that type of stuff. It's come with, it's became a bit different since you could say from, the earlier years of League racing. The previous years, a few years ago, you could say League racing was completely different. Years ago, you could also say the League racing was probably less calm. Now it's kind of a little bit toxic, but it's got up there. You could put it that way. Of course, with that being said, this morning, we heard about the news of William Singer, who passed away and was in ABS, our partnered league, and you could definitely say for sure that he was doing a good job in ABS, leading the championship. Won in his last race that he did, but these type of things do happen in league racing. Sometimes where some people come and go, some people leave leagues, some people join leagues, whatever. There's times where people come and go, and this time it's a different bit of come and go. He came into the league racing community, and now he's passed away, and it sucks, but what do you kind of make of the situation? What do you kind of think about it? Because I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, obviously, I was only aware of this via the ARL main chat, and all of a sudden, you're hit with sort of reflection, because at the end of the day, he's just a young league racer, like you and I, like most
15.
people in this lobby.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 years of age. Probably an average of... I'm not too sure. I'm not going to go into detail about ages, but yeah, he's young. It is far too soon, man. I don't know the details of what happened, but that is a life that's lost. And on what's been a pretty upgraded day after further events, which we won't go into too much in the stream, but yeah, rest in peace to him. And it's great to see drivers pulling out some number 24 tributes, his race number, some helmet designs as well. It's nice to see everyone come together. Thank you very much for tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, there is going to be sometimes sadness in the racing. There's always, you always have the heartbreaking moments. You saw, I want to say it was... we'll go to, just for example, it was like Starburst in the Austria Tier 3 race. We saw heartbreak with him, but it was just spinning out after possibly being in his best points position. We see great league racing moments, we see bad league racing moments. Sometimes more bad than good, but you know what? I'm glad there's people watching. I'm glad we have set up the way things have been. And the way I also put it as well is that the league racing community has kind of came together, if you look at it, because... there's always been times you could definitely say that the league racing community has just been probably hateful sometimes, and you could probably agree on that. There's been times where the league racing community has not been the nicest, you could definitely say. People have come together in the league racing community to run the number 24, to run helmets and such like that. So, it's good to see a league racing community and a community itself come together, because everyone in this community, happen. I'm sure, we have the occasional people who just want to have fun, this and that, and then there's others that take it serious. There's others that do this a lot, but this is basically literally kind of almost our lives, you think about it. So and Atlantis, a league racer, he said in one of our partner leagues passed away, and it does suck, but again, it's also a bad moment, but filled with a great moment of the league racing community coming together like this, because there's been so many times where I've seen before. I think it was you know, I mean, we've seen so many overtime times and over in the English so many times over in the Twitter community. It can get toxic. Same thing with the Instagram community. It can get toxic everywhere. It can get toxic, and just to see the league racing community to get organized and, you know, come together is something I think we all needed to see after the previous months of league racing. The previous months of league racing, I would say, have not been my favorite. I'll tell you that right now, because there's been times where it's been toxic. There's been times where I've not enjoyed it. And it's as simple as that. I'm sure you've probably had the same thing go on as well with LDRL. You know, you've been through some moments with LDRL that you probably didn't want to be with. And same thing with ARL, GSR, ABS. There's so many leagues that I know that have been together through many times that they didn't want to go together with. And we're coming together for, you know, a passing, but we're also coming together for a good moment. People who are going to honor him. And you see some people such as Polo God running the 24 with his helmet. Some other people, I think there was Speedy Midget as well running his helmet too. I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure. But I know people were honoring him, which is the good thing. And I think that's what matters the most. I think, you know, being honored like that is definitely something that we need more in league racing. What do you think?
Yeah, firstly, big respect to Speedy Midget and ABS Jarv. Jarv is in this race today, but massive respect to those, because hearing the news for a member of your own league,
Yeah.
you know, that does take a lot of mental strength to try and process and create this for him effectively, where everyone can hear his name, and from what I understand, a nice, kind person. So yeah, he was the opposite of toxic in this league racing community, and more people need to be like him effectively, because yeah, it has been a rough few months. There's a fine line between what's acceptable and what isn't, and we can all learn, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Easily.
yeah, like a lot of people in this league have, through the various methods of punishment and messages we've sent through to them. So yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna speak personally. I mean, there's been times in the Sugars community where I've probably done, you know, fucked up things. It's as simple as that. Everyone has. They've probably done things. There's people who've probably done things that they didn't want to do, and we can all learn from that. But from what I heard, of course, like you said, he's a very humble, very nice guy, and you know, it's kind of like, I'm gonna refer this to Antoine Hubert for one reason. It's always the better people. It's always the nicer people. It's always the respectful people. It's always the people who are humble, very respectful, like I said, who just have their life taken at a young age. Like you look at Jules Bianchi as well. Very humble guy, very respectful guy, and just, it was too soon. But you know, I'd say if anyone from ABS, such as Jack ARL, 25 inches without a count, done kind of as a meme, but done for Throwback Week. Speedy Midget, I would say as well. F1 Driver, Polo, Cobra, just people such as them. Tax, Kagoda, just people such as them who, if they win today or if they have a good result, I think they'll be happy with that, because that's kind of in honor of him, and they've raced in ABS. They've raced with, well, not with him, but you know, in that league that he's competed in. So I never got to race in ABS, but I've got to be in the Discord server. So, of course, it does, you know, kind of make you think how this kind of, I think this kind of is like a moment for people to realize that, hey, we gotta change things in league racing, because if we stay this way, if we stay toxic, if we stay with the bad moments, if we have more bad moments than good moments, that's not gonna make us look good and whatnot. So I think this is a wake-up call for most people in league racing as well, that most people here, I'd say I wouldn't want to assume the average age, but you know, probably around 15, 16, 17, most people are around here in tier 1. The thing is, some people don't realize, and I don't realize myself, what it's like to be, you know, up there, and he's in a better place. But like I said, it's definitely a wake-up call, because people don't realize at a young age how quickly your life can change, and that's definitely something that is true for sure. And we will have a moment of silence at some point during the stream. Yeah, I don't know when we'll do that. I don't know when you want to do that, Milo, but whenever we feel right to do it, I feel like that'll be the right time as well. I think we could do an information lap as well. I think that'd be great. 24 seconds of silence would probably be perfect. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, obviously there's 26 laps in this race, so we've always got lap 24 towards the
Yeah.
back end of the race, and yeah, that's a good thing that there's so many different ways that you can respect someone like that, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's what brings us all together, and committing to doing something like this is positive among the negative times that we're living in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is still ARL Tier 1. We're at Baku for the first time, and yeah, we race for him.
That's true. Always gonna be an honor of him. And like I said, this is definitely a wake-up call, and we gotta focus on the good moments instead of the bad moments, because I feel like a lot of the bad moments can be overshadowed by the good moments. And I'd also want to mention just something to everyone. People do kind of assume things very quickly, and I've been one of them for sure. I've been one of the main people who've done that before. But I'm saying this for a reason. Whenever someone passes away and you don't really know about the person, you don't really know about what's going on. I'm not saying anyone has done this, but I'm just saying, please, guys, do not assume anything like why he passed away. Unless you actually know, don't assume. And I say that because, of course, I've done many things before, like assuming about people, passing away. And I said, oh, wait, he passed away because of this, when that's not true. And until you know the full story, don't exactly assume about the whole thing. But anyways, I want to speak then about the race. We may as well get started. We've gone on this topic for a long time, but those 12 minutes have kind of been reasonable to go on about it for. So, Tier 3 and Tier 2, quick recap of those. Tier 3, one of the more chaotic races toward the end. That race was pretty clean for a Tier 3 race. You wouldn't think that would be a Tier 3 race looking at it. And as well as Tier 2. Tier 2 was good besides the first lap, I'd say, on incidents. Milo, you took an 8th place finish, if I'm correct. First points finish for you this season, definitely after a struggle of a start, and I think you got to be happy with the points finish as well.
Yeah, of course. There was still more to it, and I was happy with how I drove yesterday. But just on Tier 3 as well, you've got to remember that was so difficult to actually get going. It took an hour before we were
Oh my god.
before we were lights out officially. So
Me and Paul
credit to everyone
commentated
who
4
stayed
hours.
around, was patient, and provided a decent showing, to be honest, considering things start to get a bit impatient. Oh, so we have fake DW King Marco going to the top in the late stages qualifying. But yeah, massive respect to the Tier 3 guys.
Yeah, and Tier 2, 17 Fs for them. I think it was 16 Fs for Tier 3. Squid Jr., first-time winner. And Atlantis as well. A first-time winner for him. So good to see first-time winners back at it. And we're going to be left with the final minutes of qualifying and then their final laps as well. Uzumaki's retired from the session. Brugorgan as well, down in 20th. Such J does have a 3-second penalty to serve from last week's race. Because of stuff that happened in China. A contact with Polo God. Got 3-second penalty for it. DNF last race, so had to be transferred over this race. Which is more reasonable, but of course, that's just the way it is. So, these final laps in qualifying. And just to keep you in mind, some of the accounts. King Marco is DW, ARL 125 inches is Jack, and Iron X10 is Axe. And I think that's pretty clear from that point on. Some people using throwback accounts for this weekend. Because it is throwback weekend in the league. Can King Marco, DW, keep pole position? And keep in mind, the only time he raced on that account before, well, not the only time, 2 of the 3 times he raced on that account, if I'm correct, he won on. I know he raced in your league once with it, Milo, and LDRL. I don't think he won with it, but, I think he was not winning, I'm pretty sure, so, yeah. Yeah, so just the final laps coming across the line. There's the Renault. That's V2 Combat. He's going to start a lap pretty soon here. There's the Alfa Romeo behind as well. That's F1 driver Polo God. The Mercedes as well. That is someone else. You have the Ferrari crossing the line. That might have been John, who had gone up to the 5th spot. So he gets better and improves on his time.
Careful here, because I thought he wanted to retire, but he's actually had to drive backwards a little bit, and that puts you at risk of getting disqualified. By the way, Jack is up on his time in the Williams. Needs a good qualifying today. We would have thought he could have won by now. He's not.
Nathan
He's
Aiken
not
only goes
even in
7th.
the top 4 of the championship. He's 5th.
To go to 12th. You see Jack heading into Sector 3 for the final time. The AlphaTauri, that is Kyle SO2. He's going to go up to the 15th spot. But Jack is up by 5/10 and could take his first pole since USA last season. That will be good for Jack. Now, you see as well, Speedy Midget did improve. He stays in the front row currently. But Jack running that 24 for William Singer. And now, you see Cobra as well. 5th, 6th for Polo Guide, 7th for Nathan Aiken. Jab 17th, but Jack, where he comes to the line now, he's going to take pole position. 137.1. F1 driver out of the session as well. Uzumaki on Such J as well in an out lap. V2 currently 8/10 up in his time. He's going to try to improve into Sector 3. V2 is going to come to the line looking for a top 10 start in this race. Jack 2/10 ahead. It's him and DW on the front row currently as we stand, but V2 Combat is going to try to improve on his time. He only goes 8th. The Mercedes, Tax, 5/10 up on his time. He's going to go to the top 10. He goes 7th. A good, decent result for him in qualifying, and Such J as well. He's going to be able to start a lap after the checkered flag's been complete. I think so will Iron X, and I think so will Pluto. Pluto's going to be coming in the pits.
Ooh,
John as well on the lap. Out.
Such
right
actually
now.
hit the wall. But I think gets away without damage.
.210 separates the gap between pole. You see behind that as well, Speedy Midget. Best start for him. F1 driver as well just behind that. Cobra, Polo, Tax, Nathan, V2, John. They all round out the top 10, but things could change because Axe has started a lap as well. Getting the slipstream off Polo. Now he's going to turn into the wall. He's going to run over his front wing, and then he's going to hit the rear tire with the wall. Anyways, Pluto comes to pit, and Such J as well. He's going to try to improve on his time. He did miss the checkered flag, but the game allowed him to try to complete this lap.
Yeah,
and yeah, it is over for him. It is over. It's Jack on pole and DW to his outside. So ABS drivers 1, 2, 3, if I'm correct, from people who've competed in the league. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good for them. And a showing in honor of William today. But Jack on the pole. King Marco DW to his outside. Speedy Midget, F1 driver, Cobra, they round out the top 5. Polo God, Tax, Nathan Aiken, V2, John, all round out the top 10. But keep in mind, Ricochet, Pluto could go to Iron X and Brew Gorgon as well. Start all outside the top 10. So this should get good. And Jab is going to recover, or try to recover, for 17th in the grid after a problem last week on the last lap with the puncture.
Yeah, Pluto, the championship leader, of course, starting 13th. He has a 15-point lead over Nathan Aiken, 16 over ARL Cobra, who second and third drives in the championship, both start in the top 10. So they need to start clawing back some points on him today, and especially Jack as well. 18 points from 2 races. Would have expected him to be comfortably getting into the lead of both races and controlling them enough so he could lead the championship at this point, but that has not happened. He's got a lot of work to do, and if there's one place where he has to recover, keep it clean, yeah, it's now.
Yeah, and getting ready for the grid to form up and for we're getting ready for the grid to form up and the formation lap to start here in this Grand Prix. Anyways, may as well take that moment, 24 seconds of silence for William Singer. Starting now. Thank you. And today, this race is in honor of him, and I'm sure the ABS guys as well, who have competed in ABS, who have still raced in ABS, will want to make a show and make him proud. Go over two drivers to watch Milo Gaming. I'm going to go with Jack. I think with the way Ricochet's left the session, make sure you get him back in here. But with the way things have gone for Jack, it's not been the best start to his season with the first two races. This track, he was going to win in GSR last season, but had lagged out from the race lead. He still kept a podium position, if I'm correct, or was in a podium spot, lagged out again, had problems. Jack is looking for redemption from that race. Jack is also looking for redemption from last week when he crashed and collided with V2 Combat. Jack, he sweated out for this Grand Prix. I'm telling you right now. I know how much he did. I was in parties with him a lot, and he, as you see, the AWS tire graphic, softs to hards is the preferred strategy. But with Jack, he's going to be hungry for a win, hungrier than ever, and probably the most hungriest he's ever been for a victory. I'm also going to go with, I'm going to go with Cobra. I say this because Cobra had fended off Pluto in the race in GSR, and he gone into Cobra corner, which we just gone through a moment ago, gone into the wall, locking up, and cost himself the race victory. Did it twice. He's going to try to avoid that today, but he's starting in a better position than he was, I'd say a week ago, because he's behind F1 driver, and he's got a good run down to turn 3 if he stays out of trouble. So he should be looking good heading to turn 3 off the start, and that's my two favorites, Jack and Cobra. Who are your two favorites, Milo Gaming? And Uzumaki's left the session. Invite him back.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if the stream could still hear me, but I'm going to squeeze in King Marco, DW, because, yeah, we all believe he's got that eye on a podium today, and he's only got 2 points this season, and this might be his chance to finally get back on form, as I'm midway through inviting Uzumaki, so apologies for the slight stuttering there. But then I'm back now, and we're championship leader Pluto, hards to softs, very good strategy if you get lucky, and keep those hards consistent. So yeah, Pluto from 13th on the grid needs to get some more points today.
Anyways, we're forming for the 5 red lights pretty soon in this Grand Prix. Azerbaijan, it's the 3rd race of the season. The 5 red lights are going to come on here. Ricochet with the fastest lap. Anyways, 5 red lights come upon us. We're waiting to rev it up. And here we are about to go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and we are away. Jack didn't get the best of starts because he's being challenged by DW and Speedy Midget into turn 1. They're 3 wide back there. The Mercedes going a bit wide. That's tax, but they keep it clean out of turn 1. Ricochet lagging out of the session again, but Jack keeping the race lead, and DW trying to fend off Speedy Midget. There's a little bit of contact at the back. There's the Haas going into someone. That was Nathan Aiken making a little bit of contact, and you see Jack keeping that race lead in the gap, trying to fix itself. But now DW is being challenged by Speedy Midget into turn 3. Speedy Midget goes ahead of DW.
Oh, there's someone off. Oh, it was Ricochet just lagging, my bad. But yeah, just on that opening, into the second corner, Scratty Rat went what he was doing, but he went straight into the pack of cars in front of him, and that's ruined his race on lap 1. The reserve driver.
Ricochet's lap is still going, I guess. So, anyway, we'll have to figure that out after the race with the fastest lap glitch and everything else like that. Ricochet, I think, might need another invite back to the session if that's the case, because he is ghosted. But there's a crash at the castle section. That's Kyle SO2 out of the Grand Prix already, and there's a safety car. Oh, boy. So, Ricochet's going to need to invite back to the session. Kyle SO2 has crashed out of the Grand Prix already, and he has not had a good start with AlphaTauri, nor is Ricochet, because he's out of the session right now as things stand. So he will need to be invited back to the session.
Yeah, I've done that. Mixed fortunes for AlphaTauri today. Yeah, hopefully Ricochet can recover now that he's just rejoined the session. Oh! Jack just baited in the pit lane, and that has forced Speedy Midget and a few other soft runners in.
Ooh.
He went left,
Pluto
then
going
back
into
right.
hards. Never mind. So it's a double stack for McLaren. They were not ready for Pluto as well. It's a mixture of tires going on for people. It's a double stack for Alfa Romeo as well. DW stays out. Jack stays out. And I'm wondering what's going to go on with Uzumaki's car, considering that
He is
just
back. He is back.
got ahead. Yeah, he is back. But the thing is, his car did lag ahead from the start of the race. We'll have to figure out what goes on. If that will result in any sort of penalty or whatnot, I'm not sure. But Ricochet as well, I think he's back in the session now, so he should be fine. But out of the runners who pitted, Speedy Midget ahead of F1 driver, Tax as well on the hards, Nathan Aiken as well, Jab on the hards, Scratty Rat on the hards. So a mixture of things between people as well.
The sensible thing here is for Uzumaki to start letting people past, and I think only down to yeah. Well, yeah. He's not pitted like the rest of the guys in the top 10, apart from Speedy Midget. So that's probably sensible if he did do that.
Either way, with that being said, Uzumaki in the best position he's been in so far in this league, up into second. The two Red Bulls as well stay close to one another. DW and Cobra, they're going to be trying to challenge Jack as well. Jack stayed out. Is that the wrong decision or is that the right decision, Milo?
I don't know. Maybe he's committing to the long one stop. Whereas Speedy Midget going on the mediums, F1 driver as well, they're going for the two, switching on mediums or softs at the end. Jack remains on a one stop here, so I think he might feel comfortable if he something happened.
John got a drive through for colliding with Jab under the safety car, and there's been some damage because Tax is running in the back of Nathan Aiken, giving himself a 5-second penalty. Oh man. And Tax, I think, just going to clip that. Uzumaki going to pit as well. This now puts DW and Cobra into the second and third position. V2 Combat behind them as well. So, wow. I don't know what to say with that. John's got a drive-through, and Jab's got a 5 seconds. So for Ferrari, it's double disaster for them as things stand.
And I wonder where I've seen that one before. But yeah, John running the number 24 on his car. Not the luck he would have wanted from it after contact with his teammate under a safety car as well, which
Ricochet's been disqualified.
Did he just go and take the lead?
I
mean,
I don't know.
It said he was in the lead.
I have no clue what's just happened. I was not even looking at the screen. I was looking at Discord for a moment. But okay then. All right. I have no clue what's happened, but we're still under the safety car, and it's both AlphaTauris out of the race. We kind of just did curse Kyle Issa too, though. We said if there's any bold prediction, who would it be? You said Tax, and then I said Kyle Issa too, and you said you were thinking that. So we kind of maybe cursed him, I think, before the race. I don't think he'd like to hear that. So not good for the Scottish driver.
He did pass everyone, Ricochet. Getting some reassurance from that, and I think he went into the safety car as well from what I'm kind of reading and gathering from that very odd situation.
So, will the safety car be coming in this time? We'll have to find out, and it will be coming in. So, Jack leads the Grand Prix with the way things stand. Anyways, V2 Combat, a collision penalty with Axe, that is. So Jack is going to queue up the pack and going to try to restart this race while leading the Grand Prix. So with the way things stand, Jack with the lead, DW second, King Marco third. Safety car's going to coming in, but he's got a big jump, Jack does. The game might have to let him off before that because the safety car's just coming in. I've seen it before. You go back to Bahrain as well. Will the game let him off before the line? For now, it's looking fine. Anyway, Jack has got a big lead over DW and Cobra into turn one. Behind that, Brew Gorgon trying to go around the outside of Such. at turn 1. Brew Gorgon hanging around the outside, but he's getting caught out by Speedy Midget as well in the back there too. They're going too wide at the back. Tax down the order, but now Speedy Midget wheel to wheel with Brew Gorgon. There's a crash. That is V2 Combat out. V2 Combat is spun out. F1 driver getting ahead of Brew Gorgon as well. You have Pluto trying to dive down the inside at turn 3. He's getting caught out as well. Polo got as well right behind there. And Tax just fell down the order a ton. They're 3 wide up there, and they're side by side. Pluto and Polo got off the corner as well. They're a gaggle of car into sector 2. Pluto side by side with Brew Gorgon. Brew Gorgon's going to be ahead right there. And they're trying to go side by side again into turn 7. This is now.
Pluto's already pitting. He's gone for the soft, so he's gone down a completely different route for strategy. Not into the castle section. Bit of lag on my end, and the Renault has hit the wall.
That's Brew Gorgon picking up damage, but now what this has done is this has put King Marco out of DRS, though, when DRS was going to enable for him and Jack, but Pluto goes by Brew Gorgon there, and the long left-hander Nathan Aiken takes advantage of John as well. Ferrari yet to score a point with an actual driver this season after the troubles they've had. So they're currently outside of the points right now, and DW and Cobra, you bet that both Red Bull drivers will definitely be working together with one another, and I think the interval gap between them is a bit glitched. But anyway, Speedy Midget gaining as well. He pitted as well. He's gaining on Such J on the front straight. This is on the long straight with the overtake button engaged. Speedy Midget to the outside now of Such J of the racing point. He's going to go wheel to wheel into turn 1. A purple sector 3 by him right there, and it's Speedy Midget ahead.
Speedy Midget, the net race leader, then getting everything out of those medium tyres as he'll need to come in for another stop. Good start though. He's on track to potentially make this strategy work. Behind him, F1 driver looking to get past Such J as well on the same strategy.
Nathan Aiken just going through, and Brew Gorgon as well. That's going to cost Brew Gorgon another position. And you see as well 3 retirements so far in this Grand Prix. You also see Cobra out of DRS of King Mark, the DW that is. And Iron Axe has got himself in a position who've yet to pit. And there's Brew Gorgon. Going off the track.
Yeah, knock up, he was struggling.
On a safe manner, but you've seen as well Speedy Midget and Such J, they've caught up to Axe as well, with Axe on the back of Cobra as well. So that's 7-10 separating them, and Axe, Cobra, DW, and Jack all yet to pit in this race. Same with Such J. There's the only guys yet to pit, and along with Brew Gorgon as well. The first guy in the, well, it's the net race lead right now, is Speedy Midget. An F1 driver does go through, and Such blocking up right there. And Such going to try to take advantage there into Sector 3. F1 driver weaving just a little bit, but he does stay ahead. F1 driver in the net, P2 position.
Yeah, sensible driving from the pair of them. Completely different races at this phase. Lap 5 of 26. And Iron Axe here, GSR Axe, looking to make a move on Cobra. No DRS just yet though, so he won't get it done.
He should be able to get DRS down to turn 3, though. So he should be able to get the advantage there. Positions gained. Axe, 11 positions. 12 positions for Such J, and 5 for Pluto. 6 for Jab. And you see the positions lost. 9 for V2. 6 for John. And you see Axe with the DRS on Cobra. Cobra as well, DRS on his own teammate. And Cobra is going to stay ahead this time into turn 3. Kagoda and Tax, the 2 Mercedes teammates, into turn 3. Kagoda, he's going to go ahead of Tax. With the way things stand, Axe sitting better than medium runners right now. He's the highest medium runner, but keep in mind he's yet to pit in this race, and he's got damage.
Oh dear.
Wow. Not so good for GSR-Axe right there, but that's going to allow Speedy Midget to probably catch up to DRS of Axe at some point on the next few laps. Pluto is trying to challenge Such J as well. Such J trying to challenge back to F1 driver to get himself into DRS range. Pluto a little bit more ERS with Such J along with F1 driver who does not have the better ERS. Such J and Pluto kind of even with the ERS this time.
Pluto on the back of Such J as well. Such J won't have DRS on F1 driver. So on the softs now, Pluto may just make an easy move. Yes, he will.
He goes through and into turn 1. He's got to be clear of Such J, though. He does dive down the inside. He might be trying to switch back Such J, but doesn't. Kagoda had a jab as well. That was a very easy overtake for him. And Such J is going to try to challenge back to turn 3 this time. Both of them on similar ERS compared to F1 driver, who's on much lower ERS at this point, at this stage of the race. Yeah, good question. How Ricochet did get disqualified. We don't know ourselves. I'm pretty sure he just DNF'd himself as well out of that. He's the first disqualification in ARL since USA last season. You got to go that far back in Tier 1 to Atlantis and Polo God both being disqualified in the same race. It's been that long.
Yeah, Axe is still up with the 2 Red Bulls with the damage. That just kind of proves how much the mediums would have come into this race. He's not as quick as he was with the damage, but yeah, those mediums are quick, and we've got Speedy Midget behind on the fresher mediums.
And he's probably going to get himself into DRS range at this time because of Axe at the back of that pack. Speedy Midget's pitted already as well. He got the BS drive-through that he says at China, which was really not good from the game. He did not jump to start. The game gave him the drive-through. But you should be seeing Jack or DW or Cobra coming into the pits this time. And yes, Jack is going to be pitting for his first pit stop. The reason they didn't pit a lap earlier is because of the fact, as Cobra's saying out, but the reason they didn't pit a lap earlier is because they knew the chances of a puncture. They knew last week whenever Jab and Polo got their punctures, they got on 68 and 70% tire wear. So with that being said, they're trying not to extend their strategy very long. They're trying to they're not trying to pit too early, if that makes sense, but they're trying to extend their strategy just a little bit longer than usual because they know the chances of a puncture, and Axe is trying to go around the outside of Cobra, cannot do so. I think that's Jack who's got caught out behind Jab as well. He's going to be caught in traffic here. Uzumaki behind as well, and so is King Marco too. They've pitted, and Speedy Midget has got through an Axe. Axe with a little bit of a mistake right there.
There's now actually a car between Jack and DW. It's Uzumaki, who probably won't give in easily considering the attitude he had towards the start of the race. When he rejoined and was suddenly P3 through a glitch. So, yeah, one overtake done now for Jack ahead of Jab. Still more traffic to come, though.
F1 driver's trying Iron Axe. He cannot get through. He's just these two teammates. So, how easy is Axe willing to make it for F1 driver? How hard is F1 driver really wanting to overtake Axe? How desperate is he going to be? The race lead, Speedy Midget gaining on Cobra. Cobra probably going to pit this lap, and there's a safety car at the castle section. That's Scratty Rat, and this plays really into the hands of Cobra, who's going to pit this time.
Yeah. Surely Speedy Midget as well for Hards and Axe and everyone. This is pain for Jack now.
Jack just behind Tax. Tax slowing down a decent amount. And is Tax willing to come in the pits? Yes, he is. So where will Jack come out compared to Cobra? Cobra probably going to come out ahead. Jack is toward the exit of turn 1. This is going to be close between the two. And I think it is going to be Cobra ahead. But Jack is trying to challenge on the exit of the pit lane.
He might have got it. He might have got it. No, he hasn't. He's slowing down.
Wow. And Cobra just barely is going to keep the race lead. Oh my god.
Jack gave that everything off of turn 1 to try and get ahead at the safety car line, which determines your position effectively. And yeah, unfortunately, it was neck and neck, but he just missed out. Uzumaki now remains in 3rd place. He's on the hard struggle to get those to the end. We'll need some more safety car periods to keep the wear under control. Then Speedy Midget, fresh hard tyres, in 5th place. F1 driver still behind in 6th. Iron Axe repairing that wing damage, I assume. Down in 11th now, outside of the points.
So, what this does, this is put Such J in the mediums. That's what he's chosen. The jab and tax as well in the mediums. Brew Gorgon on the softs. 16 runners still left in this race on lap 9 out of 26. That Castle section has really claimed some victims. And Davis does bring up a good point there. Yesterday, someone did DNF there, and there was no safety car at all. And the Tier 2 race that was. So, consistency, Co-Masters, where is that at? It's a good question. So with the way things stand, Cobra's got the lead over Jack Uzumaki as well in that third position. Uzumaki's already pit, but probably will have to make another pit stop in this race. I don't think he can go the rest of the distance with his tires. 5-lap hards, I do not think that will go the rest of the way. He did choose to pit at the start of the race, and where he's put himself in position to, he's put himself in a position to possibly get some points. Where he got points last season in Brazil. That's his only points finish since he's been in this league. One of your drivers, Milo.
Yeah, bit of a painful start to the season, but Such J, he knows what he's doing. He's on the mediums now, though, so I want to question that strategy, but considering everyone else is on the hards, but maybe another safety car period is what he's gambling on, and we'll see how it comes into play.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what goes on. Anyway, John, a 5-second penalty for colliding with Tax. I think John did serve that drive-through that was mentioned. And Axe is in the barrier. Axe is retired. He's out. He's out of the session. And his luck is not too good at Baku. That AI is trying to reverse itself, but can't. The AI is failing to reverse. Never mind, it's got itself going and parked at that location. So 15 runners left in this race as of lap 10. 5 DNFs at this track. Questionable. Tier 1 with more DNFs than Tier 2, Tier 3. We could possibly see that by the end of the race. So, Milo, while you take over for a moment, because I've got to be right back quickly. Cobra, Jack. Who's going to want the win? Who's going to want to defend? Who's going to want to overtake more desperately out of those two? I'm going to be right back.
Well, we know Jack is quite aggressive in these circumstances because he desperately wants that win. He says it every week. Oh, I don't want a bottle. Stop cursing me. Stuff like that. So, yeah, Jack will need to get a move on. Because he's lost the on-track position to Cobra. But, yeah, we'll have to see how he goes about that, because it's only lap 10. We might have the safety car going in this lap. We're nowhere near the end of the race. It's at least got to try and stick with him. But, as well, Speedy Midget was making great progress, and now he's on the same strategy as everyone else. So, we can see what his pace is on the hards and compare it. We're about to get racing once again.
Alrighty. I'm back. Finally. So I've already seen a ticket submitted about the Uzumaki stuff with the start, with the way that's gone. Cobra is going to try to lead the safety car restart and get the jump Jack got on him on this safety car restart. Speedy Midget also sits in a good position with 5th as well. F1 driver and him trying to trade positions. But when does Cobra decide to go? He's halfway in the throttle. He's not in the throttle now with the overtake button engaged. Jack's behind him, getting the slipstream as well into turn 1. It's going to be Cobra leading into turn 1 while they fan out behind them. That's F1 driver going to pit as well.
Here
but
comes
into
DW.
turn 1, there's the racing point.
Oh, it's gone
of
wide.
Uzumaki.
Oh, Nathan Aitken around. There was a spinner. For sure.
There's damage as well. Last week's race winner, damage on both front wings as well, so that's big for him. Brew Gorgon trying to pass Tax as well. That's at the very back, and you see Jab and Kagoda going wheel to wheel. This is into turn 3. This time Jab's going to break later. Jab going ahead for now, but Kagoda trying to hang around the outside. Cannot do so. It's Jab ahead for the 9th position right now. And John
Oh, a bit of damage for Polo. He's hit the back of Kagoda, his fellow Irishman. And, yeah, another difficult race for Polo.
Time zone right now. I bet he's changing his time zone right now. And I made no one really,
Oh,
no one really knew it, but
side by
Such J ahead of Speedy Midget, but no one really, I never really told much people about this, but I made a bet with Polo earlier in the week that if he gets damaged in the next 2 races at Azerbaijan, Japan, or crashes at some point, that is his fault, basically. He has to change his his time zone on rather Xbox or his phone to American nationality. And here comes Jack, who's got passed for the race lead by Cobra. No, sorry, it's been that way, but Jack is trying to pass Cobra for this race lead right now. As things stand, and it's the 2 teammates of such Jay and Uzumaki at the back, and there's been a VSC handed out. That's probably for Brew Gorgon.
DW has major damage. I think he might have hit the wall somewhere at turn 1 or turn 2 earlier on in the lap when he went in deep. He's got damage now and is losing positions rapidly. He's going to come into the pit. I don't think he'll have another set of hards for the race, though. He's damaged his wing even more, and that could have been the end of his race.
2 safety cars, 1 VSC as well. The current VSC being out. How will things go? The VSC has been lifted, and now we have the battle for the race lead going back at it with Jack and Cobra. Yeah, Atlantis says awful driving currently by these lots. So much damage. Yeah, I can slightly agree. An F1 driver is out of the session right there in the pit lane. That is the 6th retirement in this race. And John, I think, as well, probably going to retire the car from what I can only assume. And yeah, he is actually changing tires. And F1 drivers left the session. So yeah, you can tell F1 drivers frustrated. Alfa Romeo being in the podium so far twice this season, and Such J as well is going to get by Uzumaki. It's the 2 racing points trying to challenge for a podium, and Such J has got the better of that so far.
Oh,
Uzumaki! And that's got Speedy Midget, I think, as well damaged too.
Side by side with Pluto, his teammate.
They're too wide right now. Pluto's trying to get by Uzumaki, who has some damage. Pluto might try it right here. He's going to have the chance to do so. Nathan Aiken, 3-second time penalty for him. But Uzumaki hopping over the curb right there. And you could just tell Pluto is eager to get by. But for the race lead, Jack trying on Cobra.
He's so
right
close,
now,
just a 10th.
Almost less than a 10th now. He's got the slipstream of Cobra. Cobra's going to try to fend that off. And now Jack to the inside. He's going to get the race lead right now, Jack is. He's clear of Cobra. He's ahead with DRS enabled. Jab and Pluto. Wheel to wheel into turn 1. This is for Ford. Hanging around the outside. Pluto back down the inside. He goes through. Jab does. And pitting was Uzumaki and Speedy Midget. So this has put Brew Gorgon up into 6th in a chaotic race. I would not say the most cleanest. And yeah, tier 1 is now tier 3 for this race. Burning Man says, yeah. I would say it was a cleaner lap 1 than usual, but it was a, so far, not the cleanest race it has been in Azerbaijan. 16 Fs out of the race. It's not something you like to see in the first half of the race. We could even be seeing 16 Fs in the last half of the race. That's a good question, though, and people could ask that again. Should we continue to race at Azerbaijan next season? Should we race at these tracks like this? I don't know. We'll have to see if that's the case, if people feel it's right to. Would you think it's right to, Milo?
I think so far the DNFs hasn't really been due to, you know, major incidents like pile-ups, which we all expect in a race like this. They haven't really been like that. People are still following closely. There's a lot of strategy, interest. As Jabbers hit the wall, just to interrupt my own sentence there, another person to hit the wall is Jab. He's got damage. Pluto behind is on the technically optimal strategy right now, and he'll be looking to get past. But yeah, I think this is down for another day when this race sort of gets debriefed and how the calendar shapes up for future seasons.
Such Jay and Cobra, he's going to go through with ease. He's ahead. Pluto had a Jab as well. Jab coming into the pit lane. And Brew Gorgon has put himself up into a top 5 position as well. DW, who had that damage, he's probably going to be about 7th when this whole thing cycles out. But the guys with damage, we'll have to find out if there's another safety car at the end of the race, or if anything happens, what changes this Grand Prix very quickly. Such Jay in the mediums as well. Hards for Jack and Cobra as well. They sit in the top 3 positions right now. And Jab should be coming around the 10th, 11th position when he comes out of the pit lane. Polo God as well by Uzumaki. Polo God might try for a double overtake down the inside. Attacks cannot go through.
Ooh. close on the exit apex there as Uzumaki is the one getting squeezed out. Polo will have another go on a Mercedes, so it was a Mercedes he knocked his front wing off earlier. Here goes Polo. Oh, that's a squeeze.
Yeah, I think as well with what you said, Atlantis does make a good point there. I don't think it's necessarily could go to picks up a penalty. I don't think it's necessarily the track that's bad. I don't think it's the people, but I definitely think that you know, people do need to race with their heads at this track and be very careful. The race worked out very well in GSR Tier 2 and Tier 1, I'd say, except for the one pile up in the castle section. But besides that, it worked out pretty fine. I know F1 driver was frustrated with racing Baku this weekend as well, and I think there was others too. But I think with the way it is, I think people just need to race being smarter. I don't know what other way to put it. But of course, this many DNFs. I mean, 6 of them. I mean, I include Ricochet's because he gone out of the race, but I mean, 6 DNFs. I will say that's a bit much. But Polo God showing on Tax as well. This is for the 10th position between Tax and Polo God as we stand right now. Lap 15 out of 26. We could see another safety car by the end of this race, but Polo God is going to go down the inside to the left side of Tax, that is, and Nathan Aiken pitting as well. He might have had more damage, and he is out of the race. Last week's race winner.
Yeah, double Haas DNF, double AlphaTauri DNF. Which team wants to add their name to the list? We've got one Williams out, one Renault, and one Alfa Romeo out as well. That's 7 DNFs in this race so far. And we only recently just crossed halfway. It's quite a long race, this one in Baku.
Yeah, both Haas drivers out of the race. I see Thrasher, your comment. And Burning Man said, I enjoyed this race. There was a couple of spots where I took damage, but that was mainly my fault. Yeah, if it's your fault, I mean, you take damage and stuff like that, go repair your wing and go out there again. Things can happen. We saw it today in the F1 race. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but I'm just going to put this out there. We showed today in the F1 race, miracles can happen. So it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till the checker flag is thrown. So don't give your hopes up yet. Easily yellow flag at sector 1. There easily could be, like I said, a safety car or something like that. And I definitely think that people retiring in the pit lane, unless they have to go, unless they have to do something, then fair. But if people are just retiring in the pit lane because they feel, I didn't do well in this race, so I'm gonna retire because I'm doing bad. Never give up. You never know what could happen. I mean, easily. We could see the rest of the race. There could be a big pile up at the castle section. We could see just a safety car thrown. We don't know what could happen. There's many things that could happen in this race. I think a safety car would easily change the whole race, but you don't know what could happen. We saw today in F1. Did anyone predict the podium, what it was going to be? No. No one did. That's the thing. That's unpredictability at times that happens. So you don't know what could happen because we have such Jay as well running in the 2nd position. You could be like him and have some trouble and then come back from it. Pluto as well, 4th for him. I mean, there's people who've had trouble who can come back from it. So it's pretty interesting to say the least. Anyways, people did say Tier 2 was a dead race. Kind of was, but wasn't, if that makes sense. I could put it out there. Was clean, but was not the most of interesting races. And I think Tier 1 might be the same unless we don't see some overtaking in the next few laps. But the 2 people who got punctures last week, it was Jab and Polo, who currently sit 8th and 9th as we stand on the medium tires. They're trying to go to the end, and those 2 are looking to battle for 8th and 9th. Things do stand with Jack, such J, Cobra, the top 3. Jack yet to win. We've seen all first-time winners this weekend. So, could Jack be 3 of 3 for first-time winners?
I hope so. It's about time he got one. You can understand when someone's frustrated, and then it's such a relief crossing the line for that first league victory, and especially when it means so much in terms of the championship context. But just in the championship context, we've still got Pluto running in 4th. That may become 3rd if such J does pit again. So another podium, question mark, for Pluto? That would be a dream 3 out of 3 start for the season. As Brute Gorgon comes off the stops, in for a pit stop on the mediums. He's done 8 laps on those softs. Remember, he started 20th. He could still be on for some good points today.
It is very true. Coming out of the pits, that's Brugorgun. Jab trying on Paulo as well. Brugorgun's going to come ahead of these guys. He's going to be 7th out of the pits, but locking up for him. You also see Uzumaki trying to challenge Tex, but he's too far back. But Speedy Midget's going to try to run the outside of him. This is at turn 2. Uzumaki is not going to give up because he's defending for that position. And Speedy Midget is now staying behind again. 10 lap mediums for him. Don't think he'll be able to go to the end, but we'll have to find out.
Oh, yellow flag, and it is Uzumaki around at turn 3.
Jab trying on Paulo as well. The gaps sit a second or more apart with the way things stand, except for this battle right here. So yeah, what this has also done is this has put some people in the best finishing positions that they've currently had. Brugorgun, he's currently sitting in the best position that he's ever been in. Oh, locking up. I can almost curse him right there. Of course, when I go to people, I'm going to curse them. But Brugorgun currently has not had a finish 7th or better. Well, he could get that today. Kagoda as well, his best finish in Tier 1 is 5th. He's trying to look to better that, but if Such J does pit, that stuff can change very, very quickly. Such J as well, currently sitting in a podium position. His best finish is not even in the top 5, if I'm correct. So, with the way things stand, he is going to try to improve on that best finish. And Jack as well, never won a race yet. Is he going to get cursed? Locking up, though. We'll have to find out. 9 laps remain as well. Uzumaki coming to pit. Don't know if he's coming to retire or what he's doing, but we'll have to find out, because that's been the story of this race. I'm in the pit lane, you're retiring. From the looks of it, that's what things have looked like. And he's repairing his wing, actually. Cobra had that one chance with the help of the safety car, but he got passed by Jack, and Jack has kept the lead ever since. So with that being said, yeah. Speedy Midget is stuck behind Tax as well. Almost hits the castle section barrier right there. That was close. Now, did someone in front here pick up some damage? Because I did see some damage right next to the castle section barrier. I don't see damage from Jab, but I do see damage from Polo.
Tax maybe as well.
So, yeah.
He's got damaged end plate on the right-hand side, but it didn't really look like a Mercedes wing.
Yeah. Last season, we were at Singapore, another street circuit at this time of the season. And at that race, we saw the largest race victory gap. Today, we could see a first-time winner. Some records broken in that race. Anyways, Speedy Midget to the left side of Tax. He's going to go through with ease. Very easy for him. Tax gonna have DRS. I don't think it'll be enough toward turn 3. He's gonna use his overtake button though. On Speedy Midget, he's not close enough. And keep in mind, if a safety car were to happen right now, that would change everything. You know, I mean, with the way this race is being a little bit boring right now. But I would love to see a safety car with the things, shaping up the way it is.
Yeah, we've learned even real life things can change so quickly. Sport. So there is potential.
Oh, Brugorgun! That's damage.
It won't cause anything, of course.
Aw, man. Come on. Oh, wow. But anyway, he's going to try to limp home with the front wing damage that he has. And he is going to be passed by the guys behind him. While things stand, Kagoda's got that 10-second barrier between him and Pluto. And DW is going to try to pass him as well. Kagoda does have that one penalty. And does he have damage? Because he's looking like he is struggling a little bit as well. He does not have any damage from the looks of things. But he is struggling a ton. Is Kagoda going to pit this time? It doesn't look like it. He was heading toward the pit lane, but now here comes DW. He's going to run in the back of him, actually. And DW into turn 1. He's going to try a late break. He's going to late break very much. He's going to go through, and Kagoda, a great move by him, and Jab as well with Polo God. Jab goes through ahead of Polo God. Jab trying to catch Brew Gorgon, but Brew Gorgon's gonna go to the pits this time as well. Polo God pitting with the damage. Brew Gorgon as well pitting with the damage. They're both going to the end. Burning Man says, please don't remind me of Singapore. That was his first race where he had DNF. That was his first race in league racing, Burning Man. So yeah, don't remind him of that race if you're friends with Burning Man. Or do him off. So between the race lead, Such J looks like he's maybe going to try to go to the end. Unless he's going to... Oh my god, that gear glitch is annoying. He does look like he's going to go to the end though, Milo. Because he is currently sitting on 10 lap mediums. But... will he be in puncture territory or anything such as that toward the end of this Grand Prix?
Nice pun there. Was that intended?
I don't even know what I punned.
Such.
I don't even know what I penned. Such? What would I even say?
It doesn't matter. Oh my god.
I don't even know. I can't remember what I say.
Oh
I don't even know what I say.
You were like,
I don't know.
Or such or yeah, I can't even remember what you said. You snuck in a such there, and I thought it was a pun. But yeah,
Oh
I can't remember how many laps I did on the mediums yesterday. It was about 9, maybe 9, and they were about 40%. So if he's saving them okay, which I'm sure he can do better than I, considering I'm in tier 2 and he's in tier 1, I think they might just get to the end. And he's got a 3.2 margin to ARL Cobra, and get elbows out if necessary.
So with that being said, he was originally keeping that gap pretty even with Jack, but currently as things stand, things don't look that way. And I mean, I'll tell you, Jack has been trying everything he has to try to win a race. Switching a gamer tag, well, not switching a gamer tag, but switching an account to race on, a gamer tag, sweating out Grand Prix. I mean, Jack's trying to find every way to win at this point. He's trying to do everything he can. He's trying not to be cursed in the podcast as well. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, with things standing the way it is, we just come to lap 22. We could see a safety car, but it's very unlikely. Things are very spread apart. I do want to keep in mind of the castle section. Oh, Speedy Midget!
Oh!
And that is toward the castle section, so I think the reset might have been okay because he would have been stuck right there. But there's only a virtual safety car. Wow.
Such J's actually pitting. He's coming into the pit lane.
What this is going to do is might help him stay ahead of DW or even Kagoda. But what this is going to do is this puts ARL Cobra into second. This puts Pluto into third. Such goes onto the softs, but will he stay ahead of DW here?
I think
this is going to be very tight between the two. DW is actually pitting. Well. So this puts Kagoda into fifth. So the medium runners see that they couldn't make it to the end. And Speedy Midget, 14 lap mediums as well for him. Wow.
I don't think that was a bad decision, you know. He's on fresh soft and can... if he remains consistent... yeah, he can get back that time on Pluto. And Cobra's a bit of a stretch, but I think he'll still be happy with a P3. Oh. Tax for the drive-through. I know how it feels, mate. Oh.
Okay, then. Interesting. Interesting to see, then. Speedy Midget as well pitting. He got damage. He caused the VSC. Tax kind of close to Jab, but he got the drive-through, which is not going to help him. See Such JR, he's closing down that gap. My question is, though, he can easily catch Pluto, but will he? It's a matter of catching him, right? But it's a matter of passing him. You know, that's going to be the big key for him. Such J, though, my question is with him, will he be able to, if he does pass Pluto, will he be able to catch ARL Cobra and pass him? Cobra with all these, like, 10 third-place finishes. I mean, we could see it again, so I wouldn't be shocked with that one, if that's the case.
Yeah, it's all about at what point Such catches Pluto, because if he catches him right on the DRS straight, he's okay, as I think he actually banged the wall there. He's got away without damage, but you don't want to be doing that every lap, because your wing will start to take a beating. But yeah, it's all about when he catches up to him and how easy the pass is, because he's got to try and keep it within the limits.
Tax and DW currently sit close to one another. I think there was Uzumaki who just barely tapped the wall, got away with that one. Speedy Midget close to him as well. Like I said yesterday, many times, it's a race of attrition. It's chaos. That's what it is at Baku. You're going to see it in any league. And Speedy Midget will have the DRS this time on the looks of it on Uzumaki. Jab picking up a 3-second penalty as well. Such J's caught up to Pluto, but it's going to be a matter of passing him because Pluto currently sits in the podium position. He's going to try to defend for that. He's probably going to keep the championship lead, but here comes Speedy Midget. Now on Uzumaki. He goes ahead. Tax with the drive-through gets it as well. Paulo sits in a points position. Brew Gorgon, who had the damage. Let's check the pit stops from this race. 4 pit stops, 5 pit stops from Nathan Aiken. Will we see anyone make another pit stop who made 4 pit stops? We'll have to find out. Maybe people might try to go for that record of pit stops because there's no one who's got more than 5 pit stops in a single race in this league. So we'll have to find out.
Tax actually served his drive-through from 8th, rejoined in 8th, 2 and a bit seconds in front of Polo. So that wasn't that bad in the end. So yeah, that's quite lucky. Such is now 1.8 behind Pluto on lap 24 as we start lap 24 as Jack has already crossed the line. He'll be in DRS by the end of this lap. Something happened?
That was a big corner cut by DW. Oh my god, that was just funny to laugh at. Oh my, I mean, he is making the King Marco name up there. He's, you know, making it known, I guess. But yeah, he got the corner so much right there. I had to laugh at that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine now. I'd finished, but I didn't see it. I'm disappointed now. Sad.
DW goes by and Jab, but Jack leading the Grand Prix. Let's keep in mind, Jack was almost an ABS champion last season. If it wasn't for the race at Italy, or wasn't for the penalty, or if it was just for 2/10 at Australia between him, he would have won that race. We sit in lap 24 of 26 in honor of William Singer, who had lost his life, or at least we found out about it this morning. Lost his life. You know, the league racing community has really came together here. Jack running the number 24. I think Cobra is as well, if I'm correct. But them guys running the number 24 here in honor of him. Ooh, Such J just barely tapped the wall as well. That was close. He got away with that one. But Pluto is being caught out by Such J. When does Such J decide to pass him? You know, he's going to have the DRS this time, which will give him an advantage, but I'm quite curious to see again, right there, how will he be able to catch down Cobra? Will it be enough by the end? With those soft tires, only 2 laps on them this time, but here he comes on Pluto. This is for a podium position. Pluto trying to defend. Such J is going to go by for now, but he's not clear just yet into turn 1. Pluto might be able to try it. No, he cannot. J stays ahead, and he's on the podium position right now. So, let's check penalties as things stand. Jack, currently with the 1 warning. Cobra, with not. Such J, with 1 warning. You also have Pluto, with the 1 warning. Kagoda, with the penalty. DW, 2 invalidated lap times, and a penalty, in fact. Jab, a 5-second penalty that he had at the start, a penalty to go with it. Tax, the 5-second penalty, and a drive-through he had. Paulo God with the penalty and another warning on this current lap. Paulo God does goodbye Tax, in fact. Into turn 1. Did miss that. Apologies. I always miss something when I go to race director. Tax goes wide at turn 1. So yeah, now that Such J's got himself a clean air. He's got the chance to catch Cobra. We're coming to the final lap this time. But yeah, 2.1 seconds it is. And if the story couldn't get any better than it is, Jack leading and on for his first victory. He's almost on the road to it. He was almost an ABS champion about a good few months ago on F1 2019. Came second in the championship just by about 2 points to Ian Marshall. I mean, he is driving the race of his life right now, Jack. I think one of the best races he's driven so far here that he had to win because he has managed this gap well, managed the race well, and nobody could challenge him ever since that safety car restart. Once he got ahead, nobody could challenge him. Touch J, 1.9 to him, and we are on the final lap of the Grand Prix right now. Jack sits in the race lead. 13 finishers left in this race. Not as bad as Abu Dhabi Season 1, and not as bad as Abu Dhabi Season 1 Tier 1 and Tier 2. So I guess we can take that as a positive DNF-wise.
Yeah, Such has got to get into the DRS of Cobra if he wants this P2 where he pit from, and a good call in the end to pit. Because he's reduced the he stopped the risk of getting a puncture on those medium tyres onto fresh softs, and now chasing down a former champion. Oh, there's a yellow flag.
That's Uzumaki out. Oh, that's right into the barrier. That's 8 DNFs in this race. Jack heading into the castle section. You know he's going to be easy about it. Such J may have DRS in this last straight. He may get close, but he's got to be close enough here. Cobra taking it very easy. Such J really trying to push. Yellow flag on the final lap. But good to see that we have finished this race decently. And, of course, 9 seconds, the gap between the race lead. Such J as well. 7/10. He's got himself in a gap of Cobra. He's got himself close to DRS
aggressive.
into Cobra corner. He does lock up. Cobra does. 4:10 separate them. But he gets to the back of Cobra.
Don't do that.
Almost got around. There's a yellow flag. But Jack, if he could not do the race of his life, he's run out of fuel at the start-finish line. He's run out of fuel here. But coming to the line, Jack, if he couldn't do it in better performance, Jack, in honor of William Singer, came second in the ABS championship, but for him, he's going to take the checker flag for the first time. Cobra goes second, but Such J gets it based off of a timing glitch. So, with that being said, Pluto gets fourth, and Jack finally, after waiting so long, is going to take his first victory. Wow. Such J hangs on for his first podium as well. Good job to see that. Hello to you guys.
Yes! Finally! Oh!
Yeah, we'll check that for you. But there's been position change as well. Hollow God, 2 1,000s off a Speedy Midget. I'm gonna check it. You're right, you did not. You're right, you did not. It was a timing glitch. Maybe the game. Maybe the game is too addictive. Maybe the game is too addicted with seeing you third. They wanted you third this time again.
Lads, this game can surprise me and impress me every time I play it. Alright, well.
Wow. Definitely not a bad race, but not a good race, I'd say. But interesting at the end with you and Such J. Such J from 19th on the grid. Wow. Takes a podium. Easily. Interesting right there. And I think the fastest lap would go to Speedy Midget as well. Well, Jack, make sure you include your audio. If your first win couldn't come at a better time, it's redemption from GSR. And
yes, sir.
You know, it was a tough morning for the league racing community, especially in this league and especially in ABS as well. You competed in ABS, almost won a championship there, and you honor William Singer as well. What a better way to get your first victory. How did you enjoy this one?
Oh, it feels so good. Like, at the start, I had a close encounter with a wall just after the castle section. I took a warning from it, and I was lucky from that. Then the safety car stuffed me over a little bit. So Cobra got in front of me by the tiniest of margins. and then it's just how to work my way around him and just get him on the straight, just waiting for the opportunity and just taking the chance and extend the lead. And actually, exactly what I did. I crapped myself when I ran out of fuel at the end. I gotta
Oh my
say.
god, I remember.
Oh, that's why you slowed down. We thought you were taking the piss.
I was so
like
confused.
when I saw myself slowing down, I was like, shh, beep, and then oh, that could have been different if I didn't have that lead. Oh, jeez.
But yeah,
Oh.
Jack, definitely a crazy way to get your first victory for sure. With the way it is at the end, especially with running out of fuel. Uh, I mean, how did you run out of fuel? Explain that one.
Well, I just didn't really pay attention to the field. Really, I was celebrating after the last corner, and then I feel myself slowing down, and then all of a sudden I go to my fuel bar, and it says low fuel mode, and I was like, oh no, not again. I don't want to lose another race.
Well,
GG to Ricochet though, to spinning out the safety car. I gotta say.
Oh my god. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Finally, you get your first win. And
I'm telling you, it's the
I mean-
account. It's the account. I'm telling you.
yeah. You worked hard for your first win. Tell me about how, the pathway to the top step of the podium you've kind of had, because after the struggles in the first two races, the two-stop not going your way, and then China, you colliding with V2, and now today you are finally on the top step of the podium, finally a winner.
Well, yeah, obviously it's very good. Like, I just had to keep it clean, not bin it in the castle section, and just do the correct strategy. On the softs, I wanted to go far, and my right rear was on 70% when I came into the pits. So I was nursing that round, and then yeah, it just feels so good to win. Oh, it's been so long.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now, I want to speak about ABS a little bit. I spoke about this a little bit earlier. Now, you came second in the ABS championship last season on F1 2019 in our partner league. You know, you're running at 24 for a reason. About, you know, the emotion, I guess, of the victory for William Singer.
Well, obviously it's very sad, and I put car number plate 24 for a reason, and yeah, it's just sad really. It's just could have been here a little bit longer, but obviously life has to hit a heart. Like life can remove a lot of people's hearts, like his family, his friends, and yeah, it's obviously just sad, and I'm a tribute to William with this win.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think Milo left. I'm going to try to invite him back for any questions for you. But congratulations on the win. I think that was well-deserved. Let me try to invite Milo back to the party. I think he may have lagged out. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, probably.
Have to find out. Anyway. Can't interview now. Would have been fine or if earlier start. Unfortunately. All right. Milo said why. Anyways. I'm gonna go to the second place finisher now. Cobra. Cobra.
Good afternoon.
You're back in the podium. Last two races. It's not been the best for you, necessarily. China was a little bit of a struggle, but you're back in the podium. How happy are you about that?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Make sure audio's included. Make sure your audio's included. I said, how happy are you to be back in the podium after a little long streak for you at least of not being in the podium?
I'm mostly quite happy to be back on the podium, but obviously my thoughts today are out with William. I didn't really know him. I didn't really race in ABS, but I think he was
Yeah.
like 15 or something. You know,
Yeah.
he's a kid, and
Yeah.
he did the same thing that we all did, which was racing, and now he's
Yeah.
unfortunately passed away, which is really it's quite I don't know, it's really weird because you don't really expect things like that because you think, oh, okay, well he league races, he's just a kid, he goes to school, but it's not that simple, I guess. Just
Yeah. And especially at a young age as well, it's just like it makes you. It's a wake up call to everyone that hey, life is short. It's not that long. It's not just like, oh, well, I'm gonna live till I'm 50 or I'm gonna live till I'm 70. No, it's life can be short. That's just the way it is. You gotta really. It's a wake up call for everyone in the league racing community, no matter what. After all, I'd say sometimes toxic times, sometimes bad times that happen. It's a wake up call that And I heard he was a really nice guy. I don't really know much about him, but I mean, I knew who he was. I just didn't know much about him. So it does suck, but you're back on the podium. You keep the consecutive points finish streak up for I think the 17th or 18th time, I think it is. How happy are you to have that type of record in this league? Because records don't always mean a lot. Records easily will be broken a lot, but how happy are you currently to have that current record?
I mean, as I said last season when I was breaking some other records, like I don't really care, to be honest. It's nice, obviously. I've had a nice point streak, but to be honest, my only goal is to win races and the championship at the end of it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice. I've had a lot of finishes. I've been consistent, which is good to see. But in general, I don't really care that much. It's more sort of, I'd rather win a championship than have any records, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. I would rather do the same as well. But records are still nice to have. Records are still nice to keep, at least for that time being. But I was going to ask you as well. You and DW competed at the front until DW had his problems that he had. It got damaged, I'm pretty sure, and then fell back. But knowing that you and DW can compete this season, knowing that season's more competitive, how do you guys feel that you guys can compete at a track like Azerbaijan and be up at the front?
For starters, I'd just like to say, like, William Uzumanki, he left the session, right? And his car jumped the start.
Yeah.
And then he took over and he blocked people, which in my opinion is completely unfair because Dylan lost a place at the start to him, and he also lost, or sorry, King Marco, should I say. And then he also lost, and he got bummed off at the safety car restart, getting him damage, when that car realistically should never have been there because of the safety car. But yeah, well, that's a topic for another day, I guess. Yeah, great job from him. We scored some really good points this week, and I think we scored the most as a constructor. I don't know how many points you get for sixth place. 8th. I got 18, so 26. It's one more than Jack.
I think Jack got pole as well. Didn't you get pole, Jack?
Yeah, I got pole.
Okay, yeah, so then even.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
So very good to see. Good points for the constructors. Obviously, we haven't had that for the last few races because obviously Bahrain, he got killed by Speedy, and then China, he did the big spinala. So yeah, I think it's good that we now have we got our momentum rolling. He had a really good qualifying. I didn't. I had a shocker, and just in general in the race, I was very afraid. Well, not afraid, but like reluctant to push. 'Cause I just didn't want to send it into the wall. So yeah, overall,
Didn't want you in cover corner either.
Correct. Yeah, I actually didn't even get close to hitting the wall there. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm very proud of myself. I guess we can't call it Cobra Corner anymore, but yeah, I really enjoyed the race. I think Such was on a bit of a different strategy to us, and then he pitted behind the virtual. I did get quite lucky with the safety car as well. So yeah, when Jack came to pass me, I decided not to fight it because there's no point wasting ERS on someone who is eventually going to pass you, so might as well just let him go. Same with Such, and then obviously he pitted, and I think he used all of his ERS to try and get up to me, so I had enough to then hold it to the line. Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so congratulations on a second place finish. You're back on the podium this season. And Such Jay, it's your first podium. Make sure your audio is included. How happy are you with this first podium for Racing Point?
Well, I am like over the moon, really. It's a big shock, but I can't really think about anything else other than the unfortunate loss of the guy from ABS. So yeah, I'm happy, but also sad at the same time.
Yeah. Um, this is your best result yet. You've got to be happy at least at some time, I'd say, and I think everyone's got to be happy that a best result for them, and it's your first podium. This choice of softs at the end. Did you think that was going to work out originally, or did you think it wasn't? What did you think? Did the VSC help you a lot?
The VSC did help me, but the mediums I felt were just going to die off, like right to the end. So at the start, I could probably catch up back on the softs, and luckily I did. I just went for it, really.
Yeah. You get Racing Point's first podium of Tier 1 this season, and I think in a long, long time, it's been a super long time since Racing Point have had a podium in Tier 1. How do you feel to be the first person to do that for Racing Point this season? And also, because they're really low in the Constructors right now, how do you feel to boost the momentum for Racing Point with the Constructors Championship?
Well, considering the bad results that I've had recently in the league, and Racing Point as well, I feel this is a big boost forward to build the momentum and try and go for better results in the future for the whole team.
Yeah. Congratulations on the third place finish. Oh, but with my ones to watch, I also picked you, Cobra, and you, Jack, as well. I picked both of you for ones to watch, and you both finished 1-2. I finally had that happen, so it's not a curse anymore, hopefully, Jack. Let's just hope that.
Yeah,
but,
hopefully.
yeah, I mean, hopefully, yeah. And that's good to see the ones to watch on the podium as well from us. I think Milo picked DW and Pluto as well, but yeah. I don't think anyone would expect such a day as well on the podium. Congratulations to you on your first podium this weekend as well.
Thanks.
So that's really it. We're on to Japan next week for all tiers. Time for wheel players to have their advantage, which is good. We needed that, I guess. But you know what? That's good to see. And of course, I just want to go out with a message for everyone. I mean, it is, of course, like we mentioned before during the stream. We've mentioned it many times, but it's a reason to be mentioned. The wake-up call for all of us as league racers. It's kind of a wake-up call that, hey, this guy was respectful. This guy was a good guy. We should be like him, because it's always, like I said, it's always the people who are always very good people who always, lose their life first before everyone else. So, I mean, that's what's the bad part of life is. You look at people such as Antoine Hubert, Bianchi, they lost their lives very early and of their life. They were literally just kind of a kid, you think about it. So that's the thing. They lost their lives early, and this guy lost his life at 15. So I mean, it's not something you want to see, but it's definitely a wake-up call. Anyways, we're on to Japan next week, and we go there for Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, of course, for the fourth race of the season. I got to ask out of all of you first, who is looking forward to it the most? Which one of you I think Cobra might, because you're on wheel.
No.
So I think you might be looking forward to it the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really look forward to races anymore. Because I don't think I'm gonna do extremely well at a certain track in particular. I think at the end of the day, you can be fastest in practice. No offense, but as Jack has shown many times, you can be fastest in practice, and that equivalent to nothing in the actual event. So in theory, it should be a good track for me, but that's just theoretical. So yeah. Hopefully I can do well.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can win. I know F1 drivers, the big speed around there. Jack's pretty decent as well. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
I know it means nothing, but it's worth mentioning. You won your first race in Apex Racing Series there, so it is a little good flashback to put there. And it was around this time of year, so
Apex Racing Series 3
Yes, sir. Anyway, that's all I really have. I hope people enjoyed watching today. Like I said, in honor of who. So simple as that. Japan is next week. We are there for the Grand Prix for the fourth time this season, fourth round. I hope you all enjoyed watching, and we will see you then.